5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Welcome to the Shagga Show. All right. I'm a bit late. What's going on? How are we all doing? A few more coming on. Krieger on. How are you, champion? We'll turn this off. We'll make sure nobody contacts us. What's happening? I'll be getting messages saying I'm late. I'm on. I'm on the right site this week. I stuffed up last week. I sat there and I told you, make sure you get on the Shagga Show page, because we're going live from there. And then what do? I go on my personal page and go live from there. Anyway, shit happens. We move on. G-Bear, how are you, champion? What's been happening this week? Cracker out here today. I think we nearly tipped 40 out at Willowbank, where I am at the moment. I am late. Paul Helmrich. I am late. I know. I've been running around. Haven't even had dinner yet, eh? But I got some stored energy up. I thought I'd be right. Just thought I'd tell you again. Good on you, mate. You like me music. Steve Dangamoy, how good's that going, eh? I forgot I was 6. I put 6, now it's 7, whatever. Hey? I have to take that piece of paper with me. I might have to flip that piece of paper over soon. Start again. Andrew Harvey, how are you, mate? You made it home, I hope, from the weekend. Plenty coming on. Good to see. Guys, great to have you on board. Haven't done my hair. Haven't done anything. Just, anyway, it's all happening. Flat out. Hey, Sherry, how are you, mate? Good to have you on. Wait for a few. Well, I had to make some adjustments. Just see, I put that post up earlier. Daylight saving for everyone but Queensland. I don't know. We're still backwards with that. I don't know why we can't line everything up. I remember when I used to do spare parts. We had branches down south as well, and to try and line everything up, the cut-off times for orders and all that sort of stuff was just a pain in the bum. So I don't know why we can't come online with that. Apparently it's something to do with the curtains getting, I don't know, all the cows don't know when they need milking or something. I don't know. That's the problem. That's why us Queenslanders just going to need, I'm going to need another piece of paper, that's for sure. That's why we can't do daylight saving up here in Queensland. So I don't know. What do you do? Cows need sleep. There you go. Beck chiming in. Cows need sleep. So been flat out again. Had a lot going on. So since last week, I've been literally flat out. I had the van loaded up, ready to go. And I did a run up on Tuesday to Gladstone, full to the brim. Had all sorts of rubbish from the shed. Hadn't even touched some personal stuff yet. Out of the shed, took it up, unloaded that, hung around for a couple of days. Drove back on Thursday. Friday morning, running around, getting a bit done, getting some boxes, getting all sorts of stuff happening. Making some arrangements, and on a plane just after lunch on Friday, on the way to Mackay. And up at Palmyra there on the weekend was fantastic. We'll get to that shortly, but flew back in Sunday, had Monday off, and just had a lazy day, actually, to be honest. I was just burned out, so I didn't do anything today. Just been 40 degrees out here today, so when you want to try and do something, it's a little bit hard, but just sort of, I dragged my feet a bit today, but got a bit done, and we're getting there. So anyway, it's all happening. So like I said, this will be pretty much it. This is my last episode from Willowbank. Hopefully everything going well. Waiting to hear back from real estate. Spoke to them this afternoon. Hoping to hear back from them, if not tomorrow, the day after, about a unit that I've put an application on up there in Gladstone. And then either way, I'm heading up. Mark Harris might have a roommate, might have a housemate, a freeloader for a couple of days while I get something sorted, and we'll do that, and then we'll into the swing of it next week. So next week we should be set up, ready to go from Gladstone. So Central Queensland is where I call my home shortly, and we'll go from there. We'll start fresh, and we'll see how we go. Hey, that's life. You take steps in life, and we'll just see where we go. So lots of travelling. I've been all over the place. Anita Harris, yep. Sorry to. It's 8:30 on a school night. Oh, mate, Shagga, I do apologise. Yeah, you Mexicans. What do we do? Did you see the news today? Everyone's all over Facebook. A truck rolled over and a heap of VB. That's taken over Facebook, and it not a great loss if you're asking me. But hey, we know some of you guys out there love that VB, so a lot of that got tipped on the road. But anyway, that's probably the best thing. Probably would have washed off some of the stones on the road. So anyway, that's another thing. So something I realised, just massive clean up again. I said it last week. You don't realise how much shit you got until you have to clean up. But you know what I determined on the weekend? I reckon I'm a farmer. I reckon in another life I was a farmer, or meant to be a farmer, because you notice how all the farmers, all their equipment, they just put in the paddock and just store it. They don't get rid of it. They don't take, old tractors and that. They don't take them to scrap or anything like that. It just stays in the paddock. The sheds are full. There's implements everywhere, tractors, all sorts of stuff. There you go, Scott Layden. Not a waste of beer, Shagga degreaser. VB degreaser. It's probably about all it's good. No, anyway, some people love it. Hey, what do you do? I don't know how, but anyway. But at the Central Queensland, I've got to drink Great Northern, apparently. I've been told many a times. Jason Allen, all the boys up there, Wardy, apparently that's what I have to drink. It's just what you have to do. It's part of the deal. Yeah, so like I said, I reckon I'm a farmer. That's why I collect so much shit and just leave it lying around. But I won't be able to in my new life, downsizing quite sizably, and it's not a bad thing, to be honest. Not taking so much crap with me. Farm art, there you go. Steve Phillips called it farm art. So he's been abused before about leaving shit around. Good stuff. Yes. The Chooks. No, the Chooks stay here, mate. The Chooks stay here. Beck's staying here in the house, and the Chooks and the Ducks will be well looked after, I can assure you that. Actually, I'll put a post up later. I meant to put it up earlier. I go out this morning, out the back, and it's pretty warm, and one of the ducks, there he is, sitting on a cushion. Hey? How good is that? Doesn't get any better than that. He's sitting on his throne, sitting on a cushion. So I'll put that photo up later, so as evidence. You got to see it to believe it sometimes. But obviously, been here 8 years or so, nearly 8 years. No, you can't eat them, mate. You definitely cannot eat them. 8 years or so ago, so obviously going to miss a lot about the place. Another thing I did today, just hanging out in the backyard, and the jets flying over. So I'm going to miss that. I've been here 8 years, and I'm still like a kid in a candy shop every time the jets fly over. You got the Hornets here, the Super Hornets, and the C-17s. I love the big bird, and I'm going to miss that every day. But anyway, that's what it is. It's been pretty good. Just want a quick shout out. Like I said, very hot here today in southeast Queensland, and then plenty other areas as well. And just looking before, there's some really bad fires just west of here, heading towards Toowoomba in the Laidley and Grantchester areas. Apparently there's been some houses lost, at least one house lost already, and they're starting to evacuate people. So, if I know anyone out there, or even if you do, I just wish everyone safety. If you have to evacuate, please do so. And not a great time. It's terrible conditions here at the moment. It's very dry everywhere. Those, like I said, a lot of those firefighters, especially out in those sort of areas, are volunteers. That we have the Rural Fire Brigade. I think you all do in every state, but we have the Rural Fire Brigade. So those guys are literally giving up their time or their day job to go and fight these fires, and we wish them, we wish them safety, and thank you for everything they do. Volunteers, it's a big ask, isn't it? It's a big ask to get out there and fight fires as a volunteer, but we thank you for them. Volunteers, I mean, as you know, if you're into drag racing, as we all are, hopefully if you're staying in, we rely on volunteers, don't we? We rely on volunteers to make events. There we go. Sorry, I just saw a comment there. Pete Morton, yeah, Peter and Kev Morton. I know you guys are out that way, just across the road from us. We got lucky with the wind, so that's awesome. Awesome to hear. But yeah, guys, stay safe. And we're all thinking of you. But like I was just saying, volunteers. We can't do drag racing without volunteers. All the volunteers, I'll give you a massive shout out. I always do. I make a habit of saying it when I'm commentating at an event and that. About all the volunteers. I think I need to pop this up a little bit. We'll see if we can fix this a bit. Highly technical here. I'm going to put another piece of paper behind it. Yeah, we can't do it without all the volunteers, and I make it, like I said, I make a habit of always saying thank you to the volunteers that help out at all the drag racing events, whether it be start line crew, track crew, the fireys, the ambo, in the tower, on the front gate, scrutineering. Where else? I hope I haven't. Canteen, they run the canteen in the lanes, wherever it be. We all rely on those volunteers to make our events happen. So big shout out to you guys. I make a habit, but guys, it means a lot. I reckon if you go up to a volunteer at an event and say thanks very much for everything you do, we couldn't do it without you, because you couldn't. We really couldn't have race meets without the volunteers. And it's not an easy job. It's a bit easier for me as a commentator. Obviously, we sit in a tower, air conditioned most of the time. Some of those guys have got to stand out there in the sun, especially start line and that. They've got to stand out in the sun. Fireys have got to have their protective gear on just in case. Out in the sun in those conditions, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 hours, for a full day. Like, it's just crazy. So, guys, we thank you. We really do thank you for everything you do. And, guys, make an effort to thank those volunteers every time you're somewhere close to them. I just want to say thanks. Last week, obviously, I made that stuff up. All right. I didn't realise till I finished. I actually literally finished the show. And then I went, oh, crap. I've done it on the wrong page. I put a post up and everything saying make sure you go to the Shagga show page, because that's where I'm going live, and then I do it on the wrong page. But anyway, and the people that keep the place looking awesome. Peter Holt chipping in there, mate, 100%. I'll get to that very shortly, mate. I'm all about Palmyra, and shortly we'll get onto that. And yeah, but like I said, thanks for coming in yesterday. I missed a few of you by the looks of it, but anyway, it is what it is. We'll sort it all out. And don't forget, if you can't catch me live, always jump on and have a look. Pete Duffy, good to have you on, champion. Declan, how are you, mate? How are you, Declan McConnell? So you can always jump on find my post, and if you've got some spare time, I try to keep it nice and short. We'll probably extend it a little bit longer when I start getting a bit more settled. We'll get some people on to have a bit of a chat from time to time, some characters, some of those people that make up our sport. So that might, but we'll keep it nice and short. Don't want to take up too much of your time. Thanks everyone for chipping in and having a watch. Quick shout out, another man, Greg Murray, mate. You put that photo. I was talking to you last weekend. You were talking about getting that nose done. The old skin cancer on the nose, mate. Geez, they've taken a chunk out, haven't they? Wow. So, guys, another reminder. I'm shocking out today. I'm terrible. My nose was peeling all last week, this weekend, because last week I was out in the sun all week with nothing on, no hat, nothing. It's a reminder, isn't it? That you got to watch it. You got to watch it. You got to be smart. You got to be safe. And Greg Murray, mate, I hope that heals up all right. That big. Mate, they've taken a big lump out of there, so mate, good to see they got it, and that'll heal up, mate, and you'll look fantastic, champion. But anyway, right, where are we going? All bike. That copper Ronnie Shaw, hello, mate. All right. Had a I had a message from Brian Alvicio. I know you're on, champion. Good to have you on. And fair enough, mate. I did brush over All Bike a little bit last week, so I just want to quickly just a couple of mentions in terms of All Bike. Seth Jackson took it out. The Wayne Smith Memorial, which is the big one. Of course, we lost Wayne a couple of years ago, very suddenly, and he was a member of the bike racing community. So that all bike event, the mod bike class comes to, well, the winner of the mod bike class takes the Wayne Smith Memorial Trophy, and that was Seth Jackson, a young fella that I believe only probably his first event, if not one of only a handful of events that he's done. He took that out, which was just fantastic. So it's great to have that name on that plaque, and that'll continue. And as I said, guys, get behind those events. All bikes events. I reckon we can get, there was 100, I believe we had 100 there for the all bike. We should be able to get more than that, I reckon. When you can get to a normal event, when you can get 50 or 60 just modified bikes at a big event, I reckon we can get more to an all bike. So there's a couple of classes that were a little bit low, so if you can support those sorts of events, please do so, and get out there and do that. And a quick shout out, just only a couple of results I want to mention that I know of. Banker, Craig Chillak's banker, he was on to me today, mate. Well done, you got that silver Christmas tree for the runner-up behind Gary Kittle on the weekend. Well done, champion, and keep doing what you're doing. Don't change, mate. Don't ever change. I can't see it ever happen. And the Team Collins, how good were they? Dad and son met in the final. And Chris took it out, I believe. Chris took it out. Am I right? Jeez. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I should do my research before I come on. But once again, I've been flat out. I should stop making excuses. So the weekend, as I said, I went up to Palmyra. It was the third and final round of the Summit Racing Queensland Championships, which was an 8 mile series run over 3 rounds. The first round was all the way back in Easter in Roma out at Ironbark Raceway, which was fantastic. It was a good event. And second round of Benaraby about 6 weeks ago, and the final on the weekend. I've been lucky enough to do this now. That's my second season I've done this this series, and it's been a real honour. It's great to get out. I didn't realise, I guess sometimes you get in a little bit of a bubble when you just go to the big tracks and that, and I didn't realise the strength of drag racing out in the regional areas as much as I did. I did get to to Warwick Dragway on a number of occasions over the years, but I hadn't had an opportunity to get to some of these other tracks, and it's just been an amazing opportunity. And I'm honoured, I'm humbled, and it's been fantastic, and I love it. And I think that comes across, I want to say thank you to all those that come up and say thank you for me for coming. I mean, you guys do the racing, you put on the racing, you guys turn up time after time and put on fantastic racing. I just call it, and we're just all part of the circus, I guess, and it works very well. So that was fantastic on the weekend. So I want to go through some of that. To give you some of you guys an idea what's involved. So like from Brisbane, for example, the Mackay's 11-hour drive. So it's the same amount of travel as if you were travelling from Brisbane to Sydney. I mean, that's how far these guys are travelling to race meet. There was a number of competitors, not only from Brisbane, but also obviously they followed the whole series. So they did Rome and they did Benaraby and Gladstone, another 5 hours north to Mackay. It's fantastic to have everyone support that series. We'll see where that series goes. We'll see how that series goes. We'll talk about that on another date. We won't do that today. But a few changes in the background may be happening. We'll see what happens with that. But it would be fantastic to let's see that series continue, because it's really growing. It's really growing. On the weekend, for example, 101 entries at Palmyra on the weekend, and if you've seen my posts, I put them up. I shared all the photos. The pits were full. The pits were pretty full on Thursday, and we didn't even race till Saturday. Friday night we had an off-street meet, and there were some guys testing. Sorry. There were some guys testing, but there was guys there as early as Thursday, as I said, just to get there and enjoy the experience. 101 entries, but the best part, I think, through the weekend is we had 750 spectators through the gate, which is just great. And if you haven't been to Palmyra, have a look at my posts. Have a look at my posts because I put them up there for a reason. I want you to see what's out there. I can tell you till the cows come home to get out there and go to the regional tracks, but I want to put up photos so you can see. So you can see what's there. I'm not making it up. These guys are putting a lot of effort to make those little regional tracks happen. And to get there, everyone that gets there says, it's fantastic and they'll be back. And don't miss out. Don't miss out. Make the effort if you can. Even if it's not a series like that, even if you can make an effort once a year to travel to one of those regional tracks and support them for one of their bigger events or any event, you'll reap the rewards. You'll really enjoy it. You'll want to come back. I can tell you now, you will want to come back. Just what the team up at Palmyra there do is just fantastic. You got Glenn Cunningham and Carly, his daughter, and Terry. Peter Holt jumped on there before, and his family, Maria, and that do a fantastic job. Put in heaps of effort. Kenny Smith, all this, I could just list them all off, but they just do an amazing job. And it really is a pleasure to go there. I think I've got 8 events this year I've done. I've got one more to go. It's a shame that it's going to end for the season, but anyway. I'll be a bit closer there next year, and I'll definitely get there as much as I can. Troy Curry just coming on top track. He was there on the weekend. He travelled all the way up from Brisbane, south side of Brisbane there, so great to have Troy in the team there as well. So and just the little things they do, the place looks fantastic. They put a lot of effort into it. The track's really good. When you consider, say, your Willowbanks or your Sydney, don't forget, they'll see cars 2 or 3 times a week on the track surface, so they can maintain the track surface to some degree. Those regional tracks have one event a month, if that. So what they do is just amazing, and everyone that goes there says, it's just fantastic and great racing. The surface is really good. Even if it's a little bit down, there's people, there's very little adjustment needed to make that happen, to get down a track like that. But it's just an awesome atmosphere, and you forget sometimes how much fun it can be, and the politics. The politics are always there in any sport, in anything you do, actually. You forget about it. The fun shines through. And that's what it's all about. So, like I said, I'm encouraging you. I want you to make a promise to me that you'll get out to a regional track and have a go at one time. Don't forget Roy. Roy. I think I've mentioned Roy, but Lisa Skinner just come on. Don't forget Roy, the best toilet cleaner in the country. So old Roy, that they get there to do the cleaning up there. He's got his little trolley with all his goods on it, and he just doesn't stop all day, all weekend. Just goes just circles, just keeps doing a routine, round and round and round. So Carly's telling me a while ago that he's retired, but he used to be a forensics cleaner. So that's he used to be a forensics cleaner, which cracked me up. But he does a fantastic job, and they are spotless. Those toilets, showers, they're just spotless. Everything. He comes up in the tower and he checks our bins and gives it a quick spray up there. You must think we stink on the nose a bit, but anyway. But it's fantastic. He does a fantastic job. But even as far as, after the racing on the massive day of race, everyone's had a long day. It's been, bit fun, but everyone comes over. The club puts on a barbecue. We had a barbecue. The lineup was 50 long, waiting for the barbecue. Everyone got something to eat. And then we had trophy presentations. If there wasn't 100 plus people at trophy presentations, I'll eat my thongs. It's just awesome. We did have Brett Stevens there from Andra, and he said it was awesome, just fantastic to see, and he hadn't seen anything like it for a while at a track. But it just meets Everyone wants to meet Roy now. I've made Roy famous. Yeah, so it was fantastic. Just everyone, and the atmosphere is good, and everyone, cheers everyone on, and the speeches, and I don't know, it just makes for a really good thing, and it makes you feel like you're part of a big family, and that's what it's all about. If you can't be part of that, sometimes you forget about the fun. I think sometimes you forget about the fun. Yeah, reflux is playing up today. Yeah, you forget about it. And I think you need to make that track every now and then just to, I don't know, revitalise your energy and your love for what our hobby is. It's our hobby. It's not a job. It's our hobby, and so if it's not fun, don't do it. But there are other ways to, you know what I mean. You got to get there. You got to soak it all up. I'll give you a perfect example. So we handed out, obviously we usually, apart from all the usual trophies, so we had the event trophies, but we also handed out the bronze Christmas trees, which are fantastic, and they're given out to those Queensland champions. And the championship battles were tight. Geez, they were tight. So I'm up in the tower, and Carly does all the crunching up there on the computer and that, and all the results and that. And I'm literally running back and forward as she's updating the computer just to have a look, see what's going on. And it's awesome. It was really good to watch, and it kept me busy. And actually I had to stand under the aircon a few times because the big fat fella was struggling a bit. I was sweating a little bit because I was pretty active, but it was just exciting. I think the excitement was there too. So, so anyway, so we get to the trophy presentation. So you have the usual. Unfortunately, you have a hard lock award, and we gave that to Trent Knight out of Roma, who towed all the way. He had three qualifiers, comes out the first round, and the gearbox, unfortunately, looks like it's died. So couldn't take part in racing. But even he was like, oh well, that happens. What do you do after you travel that far? But that's what it's all about. But the one we did give out, and Glenn gave out, was the President's Choice. So we come up with a bit of an interesting one here in that it wasn't a particular person, it was a team. Not even a team, actually. So what I've what I've encountered over the last few years is a number of races out of the Armidale, Tamworth region. And I'll try and list some of them. Dave Hutchin, Bill Osling, Barry Young, Debbie Robb. There's probably about 8 or 9 of them, and they do this thing every couple of years. They travel, so they're lucky enough, or they're in the position where they can do it. But they do a big, I guess it's a couple of months. They just travel from track to track. They do a big circuit. This year we were lucky enough to have them at all 3 rounds of the championship, and we're down, just unfortunately, we're down to, I think we had 3 of them there on the weekend. Barry Young, as I mentioned, Bill Osling, and we had Hutcho. Hutcho was there as well. So we gave it to the Tamworth team because those are the guys that are living the dream. They're out there travelling to different tracks and supporting clubs. So probably the best part about that, and the thing that sort of cements what I'm saying, is those guys got up. Bill Osling got up and accepted that award on behalf of the group, and he said he was just blown away. He had a fantastic time, and he said that the weekend's race was the best organised race he'd ever been to. And when you got a guy like that that's been, they've been everywhere. All up and down the East Coast. I can tell you they've probably been to 20 tracks. So when they say that, that's a big, I think that's massive for the team at Palmyra and everything they do up there. So congratulations, guys. I want to give a quick shout out to a couple of races. Tracy Reek, and I should have got. I'm going to have to do. I keep saying I'm going to have to do some interviews with some of these races, just some of the characters of our sport. Tracy Reek's definitely one of them. He races an old XD Falcon. He runs 13 O's over the quarter. So like he wouldn't be able to compete at major events, obviously with a $12.99 cut-off with Super Street, but it doesn't make any difference at these smaller meets. We pretty much accept everyone because, it's just that's what racing's all about, and they're out there having a go. He's got his mate Ronnie Shaw. Ronnie Shaw, I think's on with me tonight. So Tracy Rick got his first Christmas tree. He took out the championship in street. Got that Christmas tree. 35 years of trying, he said. 35 years of racing, that was his first tree. And he mentioned that his son, Chris, on his first try, got one a couple of seasons ago. So he said he's going to take a photo of that tree and send it a photo to Chris every day. Every day, he reckons. So, I mean, that's the sort of characters we got. As I said, Ronnie Shaw right there beside him, he's one of his best mates. They're just great to watch. They're fun people. They're humble people. They're just out there having a good time, and that's where the heart of regional drag racing lies. Pete Holt just jumped in there. Fat bastard racing, yeah, 100%. That's what he calls himself. So that's what I love. I love all that sort of stuff, and that's what keeps me going, and it keeps me entertained, and it keeps my spirit high. It keeps my spirit high, and it's just fantastic to watch. So Tracy Reddick, well done, mate. Honestly, you did a fantastic job. It was right down to the final. The winner of the final took the championship. It was that close, and Tracy did it and took that championship trophy, and he'll still be yahooing, I reckon. So good on you, mate. The other one I want to give a quick shout out to is lucky enough to have a junior bike bracket, and it's starting to get some numbers in it. So it's been good to watch those boys, and I support those boys as much as I could because they're doing a fantastic effort. We had as many as 6 at the all bike meet. We had 6 of the boys. I do know of at least one more. Billy, get that bike going, mate. One more bike coming, maybe a couple others, definitely showing some interest. But the junior bike bracket, just to give you an idea, so you've got to be 12, I believe, 12 to 17. So if you're 12, similar to juniors, in that you've got to ride a smaller capacity bike, slower bike, and then you can step up as you get older. So those younger guys, they race a 150cc bike. This seems to be the choice. So we got a couple of them, and we got a couple of the bigger boys. They're in their 15s and that, and they're on Ninja 300s. Most of those boys are on the Ninja 300s. So we usually see low 9s out of the boys. Some of the boys are starting to crank out some low 9s. Some of those younger boys in the 1050 region, 1030, 1040, 1050 region. But what we saw on the weekend was our first 8-second pass, and my mate Charlie Houston got that 8.96 at 121. So as a commentator, you sort of go, I got a bit excited for him, and then I realised, oh crap, has he gone too fast? Because these brackets, the juniors, we got to look after them, and we do have some safety. We do have some safety in place in that we won't let them go too fast, just to make sure that there's some restrictions there. So of course, junior dragsters, for example, 790s is about as quick as you can go. I think Andrew's just been dropped to a 780. They allowed you to go to a 780 without chucking out. So he ran a first sub 9-second pass with that 896, and I was like 890, and then I was like, ooh, maybe I should pretend it didn't happen. But then I quickly jumped on the Carly. I said, hey, give me that rule book, throw that rule book over, and I looked in the rule book, and there was that margin. He could run as quick as 880. So then I started jumping up and down and realised what he'd done. So, mate, fantastic achievement. And that young man, that's 8th mile, Declan, 8th mile. So 8.96 at 121 over the 8th, same as your junior dragster guys. So stoked for young Charlie, but a great family as well. I think the guys were on earlier. Hopefully they're still watching. But so then I get to the canteen that night, and I go to have a couple of adult drinks, and there's an envelope there for me. There you go, Rick's on. Good on you, Rick. Good to have you on, mate. There's an envelope with $20 in it for me to have a drink from young Charlie. So thanks, guys. That's not why I do it. I don't do it for those sorts of reasons, but it means a lot that people appreciate what I do, and I say that from time to time, and you know, I really do appreciate that, and that's huge. There you go, Rick Easton, he's on. So well done, Charlie. Well done to all the boys. Well done to all the competitors from the weekend. Well done anyone that competed in the series. Don't know where we go from here, to be honest with you. We won't talk about that tonight, but there is some things going on in the background. A few things happening. I'm going to talk to a few people before I go any further with that. But whether that series continues next year, I don't know. Let's hope so. Let's hope so, or if not, something that replaces it. But what I'm happy to help with is if we need to grow those events at regional tracks, I'm going to pump them as much as I can, because I honestly think that's where our growth is. And if we encourage the growth in those regional areas, then it's something to go from. And we, you know, look at the NRL. Like, not everyone starts at a, you know, in a city team or something. You know, the amount of guys that come from outer regions and that. And, that's where we need to foster our drag races as well. So we'll keep that going. We'll keep the push happening, and support a regional track where you can, guys. So it was an awesome event once again. Everyone was fantastic, and I just can't wait to get back there. I'm busting at the seams now. You wish it was every weekend, because I struggle a little bit in between. You know, I just want to get there, and I just want to do that, and I just want to enjoy it. And anyway, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Next event coming up, I'll definitely be at Benara. It'll be my home track. It'll be my local track, I should say. Within the week or so. So I'll be there. We've got another one coming up in November, 15 and 16 at Palmyra. So if you're in the area, make sure you can get out there. Talking to Glenn on the weekend too, what's really good is you look out on the hillside. Okay, I'll let you know, it's $10 to get in as a spectator. Kids under 15, maybe, free. I'll double check on that. But to get 750 people through the gate's pretty cool. And you look out there on the hill. After the longest official, there are not many teams that don't offer a beer after. Yes, happy to. Martin Kent just come on. Mate, he's been official out in the lanes. Well, he's been the head of the lanes there at Willowbank for many moons. He's just saying there's not many teams that don't offer a beer afterwards, mate. So that's great, isn't it? It's just, that's your little, I guess it's your little thank you. From all the appreciation is great that people are willing to do that. So good on you guys if you're doing that. Like I said, it's not why we do it, but it is fantastic to receive. You know, it's just a little something. Yeah, 10 over the head. Yep, $10 a head. Yeah, so $10 a head to get in over the weekend. We had 750 spectators through the gate. But what's good on the hill, you see, there's families. They come, they lay out the picnic blanket. The kids run up and down the hill. We got out there with some freebies from Komatsu. I'm going to drop a name there. We had Komatsu, a big sponsor of the weekend. We threw some freebies over the fence for all the kids and that. It's just great. It's great to see, and to get the families along to those events is awesome as well. Dion, I'm not going to go there. But that's very funny, mate. That is very funny. What was I saying? So you've stumped me there, mate. What was I going to say? Mate, you've dead set stumped me there. That is funny. Yeah, but that's good. You know, hopefully we can get some of those juniors that come along and watch that sort of stuff to get involved in drag racing. And every time I make a point of yelling out to the crowd, you know, have we got any first timers here? And there's always some first timers there, which is great as well. So we'll keep pumping that. We'll keep making it happen, and we'll keep going with those initiatives. So initially that was going to be a 2-day event. That was the plan. So we booked so I fly up to Mackay. Well, I won't be from now on because I live a bit closer. I will be living a bit closer, I should say. So I fly up to Mackay. We booked another day, so I had a day up my sleeve, and it was just great to. I hadn't really had a good chance to have a look at Mackay, but so I spoke to Glenn on the Sunday morning, and he said go for a drive, go up into the valley of Mackay there, and go up there. And you can have a look up on the mountains there and the lookout, and there's places to eat and that. So I did that, and that was fantastic. It was like about an hour and a quarter, I guess, from the track out to the mountain. And you drive up a goat track like this. She's a pretty full-on road. Get up the top there and had a good feed and that. But the best part, I reckon, it's been pretty full-on, as I said, lately. The best part was getting up there and having no phone reception. So I'm currently with Vodafone. I've got to move to Telstra because in those regional areas, Vodafone's hopeless. Unless you're within, unless you're hugging the Vodafone pole up there, you got no reception. Honestly, it's terrible. But anyway, so I get up there. So I got no phone reception. So I keep looking at it because I'm addicted to that little box in my hand. And I've got no phone reception. So it's like, oh, this is cool. So anyway, so you get up there and they got platypus there just down the road at a place called Broken River. So I go down there and just sat there and hung out and just watched these little things pop up on the surface. So you're just hanging around and they pop up every now and then. They float on the water for 10 seconds, then they dive back down again, and then you got to sort of guess where they're going to come up again and watch them. And I found myself doing that for a couple of hours, and it was just really cool. And there were some young kids there, watching, and Vodafone, yeah, that's spot on. Nick Sarkam on it. It was just cool to do, and I think sometimes that balance, that balance. You miss in your life. So to go from drag racing and smoke and noise and me screaming all day long, and getting excited and that, just to wind down and not talk at all, and just sit there and just soak it all in. The water and just listening to the trees, and I don't know. It was good. I really enjoyed it. There you go. Youngala, is that how you say it? Jordan McLean's come on. Pioneer Valley, God's country. There you go, mate. I enjoyed it. It was fantastic. Just hanging out there. Had a pretty good feed up the top. There was a bit overpriced, but chicken palmy was good. But anyway, and a beer, just relaxed and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I better get back. I got to get on the plane. But it was just good just to unwind and just take it all in. So do that every now and then. If make time to just do nothing. I guess just go and get involved in nature before climate change wrecks it all. Climate change, give me a break. Anyway, that's another story. All right. So as I said, so some big events coming up. No traffic jams or protesters. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's all going on in Brisbane here at the moment. They had some clown hanging from the Story Bridge this morning in a hammock or something. I don't know. Sometimes you wonder why can't they just cut the ropes or something, Do nothing. Yeah, Chris Tate, you wouldn't know how to do nothing. Honestly. Adrian Brown, recharge the batteries. Yeah, mate, you're doing the same lately. I noticed too, mate, which is good. It's good, isn't it? It's good just to do nothing, just take it all in. Just I don't know. We get addicted to this. Oh, you get addicted to this thing. We just. What do you do? So, guys, that's about it again tonight. Probably carried on a little bit. Thanks again, Thanks again for all the support. I took the time to say during the trophy presentation the other night that I just wanted to thank everyone that supported me. It is an honour, It's a real honour to do those events, to call the action. You guys put on the race, and I just call it as it is, and it's exciting, so I get excited and I make it sound exciting, if that makes sense. So well done to everyone. You just all deserve a pat on the back for all the efforts, all the money you put in for your hobby, all the friendships you make. And the travelling, there's a lot of travelling. If you did that whole series, you did a lot of travelling. We go best presented to the Wagonsfelds. I don't know if those guys are on, but the Wagonsfeld team, of course, they're on the south side of Brisbane here. They went to every event, plus others. They do every event, so it's great to have those guys there. It's a big effort to do all that, but that's what they do. They love it. They do it as a family, the two girls race junior dragsters. So that, like I said, they do it as a family. Mum and Dad just flat out the whole time when the juniors are on, you know, jumping between the two cars and that. I mentioned in Benaraby there in one of the previous episodes how the two girls made it to the final, and young Skylar won that one. That's what makes it. That's what makes it such a great sport. So, guys, if you're out there doing it, if you're in this sport, good on you. Thanks for doing what you're doing. Keep the comments coming through, guys. I had a good one come through today. I had a message come through from someone, a group. I'm going to say a sportsman and racer. A Group 2 racer sent me a message today to have a look at something, and it's a good one. I like it. We'll talk about that next week because I want a week to. I'm going to try and get some more information, do my research as well, sort of cover some bases and that. But we'll talk about something next week. We'll talk about a few things as always. And once again, keep them coming. Hey, keep the comments coming through. There we go. Aaron McKee, Harley Riders, Life Mate, Country Pubs. There you go. There you go. I'll have to do it, mate. We'll tee it up, eh? We might have to we'll do something in the future. But anyway, but keep the comments coming through. If you've got any ideas, send them through. Probably can't, you know, even if I can't do it straight away, I'll look into that. I'll add it to the list, and we'll cover some issues that you might want to cover, might talk about, and I can do some research, ask some people some things, and we'll go from there. But that's it this week. Like I said, I've got another van load of crap out the front here ready to go to the tip. I'm off to the tip again tomorrow. Picking up some vehicles, loading up and heading to Gladstone, hopefully hearing back from the real estate. Everything's starting to fall into place, hopefully. And we'll make that happen. And we'll go from there. Thanks again, guys. Share it around if you can. And hopefully watch it. Big one coming up. Dragfest at Warwick Dragway. Guys, get your entries in for that. Make sure you get to that one. That's a fantastic event. I might have to miss it this year. I might have to just settle down and get some things sorted in the next couple of weeks. So I might have to give it a miss this year, unfortunately. But I'll be there in spirit. Be ready to up our next one. Ronnie Shaw coming on. But yeah, get to a track, guys. Take a part, eh? Don't take a part in an event. Just get involved. If you can't do that, do what I do and volunteer, or get involved some way. Just get along and watch. Palmyra on the weekend. Thanks, guys. Thanks for everything you do. That's it.